Hey Aries, this is your general tarot reading for Aries, Sun, Moon and Ascendant, or rising sign for the month of September. Aries, this month the astrological moon clock strikes midnight, which means for you that it's time to take out the toxic trash. Wow, yeah, Aries, what is going on this month? Oh, as the first card turns itself over, the moon. So we're talking about the moon this month, and the moon is in the 12th house. It's striking 12 this month. And for you, my love, it's the Pisces full moon. And it means that there's a real moment here this month where something needs to be let go of. Something needs to be surrendered. Something needs to finally be purged out of your life. It could be a situation, a work situation, a family situation, friendships, relationships, anything. But it is time now for something that it's almost like it's had its moment, it's had its place, it's had its time. Now you have to be ready to let it finally go. And it's a very healthy thing to do that, Aries, very healthy. But I feel with this and a new beginning card coming beside the moon there, I feel something bigger is changing for you. Now we could talk about all the energy in the 6th house this month. We've got the Sun, Mercury, Venus and your ruler Mars in Virgo in the 6th house. We could talk about that, saying that you want to clean up your work, clean up your health, clean up the tools that you have, clean a lot of things up, and you will be doing that, all of those things. But for me, one of the big things that you're going to be cleaning up is how you have allowed other people to treat you, the way that you've accepted other people's behavior and not challenged them for it, given people a few too many free passes to be a bit toxic or a bit shitty or shady. And this is a real moment where you go right in and say, I can't stand for this anymore. I can't put up with this anymore. It's not acceptable. From where I'm standing this month, I can see a full, clear view without any distortion, without any illusion, without any fog, smoke or mirrors. I can see what I couldn't see before. I can see how certain people have bad behavior, and I can also see how I've put up with it. I also see now that some of their long bad behavior maybe has been knocking my confidence, knocking my self-esteem. Why is that? What do I need to look at in myself that allows this to happen? Something is going to change deeply for you this month, Aries. And for me, it's the feeling of they cannot do this to me anymore. They cannot get away with this. I don't need an apology. I don't even need an explanation. All I need to do is know that there's a big line drawn in the sand and nobody gets to cross it anymore. I will not put up with bad toxicity in my life anymore. It's as simple as that. And I have the confidence now. I feel many of you pulling back energy out of a situation that has been draining your confidence. Whatever that may be, family, friends, work, partnerships, anything. It's like, I'm not going to be stressed by this anymore. It doesn't get to own so much of my confidence. There's a feeling I have here, Aries, for some of you, there's a situation that it's almost like if you don't go along with something, or if you don't kind of forgive something, and if you don't kind of play along with something, then you'll be judged as a bad person. Say, for example, if it's a family thing where your family are quite negative, it happens, some families are like that. If they're very, very negative and have been maybe for a long while, there could be a feeling of, well, they can get away with it, but if I try to do the same, then I'm the bad one. And I'm the angry one, or I'm the shouty one, or I'm this, but yet they do this shit all the time. They just do it in different ways. Why do I let this happen? I'm breaking this cycle. For me, Aries, it's a cycle that's been broken. Negative behavioral patterns, negative behavioral loops, the way you interact with other people and the way you let them away with so much, it's not okay anymore. So you draw that line in the sand, my love, and you stand up for yourself. Go to your boss and say, this is unacceptable. I can't work like this. Give me the right contract. Give me the proper working hours. Don't have me using this shitty equipment. Don't have me sharing kind of office equipment with another person. It's too distracting. I need what I need to get on and do my job. I need everything in place, streamlined, organized, because I've got places to go. I've got things to do. I've got 100% of my energy to give to somebody, some situation or something, and I can't let anything anymore stand in the way of that. But I feel for you too, Aries, there's a real moment where you have to communicate this to somebody. You have to tell somebody that you're not standing up for something anymore. And have the confidence to do it. Maybe even speak to whoever this person might be in work or whatever, a client or somebody. And you can do it in a nice way. Obviously, you don't have to get all shouty and crazy, but there is a moment where you have to say, listen, we need to talk. We need a conversation here because this is clownery. This is foolery. Expecting me to work under these conditions is absolute. I mean, what do you think I am? Some circus freak that can come in and just work like an idiot, work like a clown? Don't do this to me. Give me what I need. Same in relationships, you know. Don't tell me all the ways that I'm doing something wrong, but then you can go ahead and do something stupid. But then when I challenge you, suddenly it's a big problem. No. If there's a level of respect happening here, then we better come to some sort of clean-up thing here, where we clean this up and we come to some better agreement. We set a new code of conduct, a new set of rules. The rules are going down. The rules are being drafted up. And this card leaping twice it leapt. And it is the Wheel of Fortune. Something's changing big time for you in your life this month, Aries. Really, really changing. I feel that you are reclaiming your power from a situation that has at times maybe almost brought you to the point of bewilderment, brought you to the point of doubting whether you were sane, kind of thinking, am I right to think this way? Am I seeing this? Is this actually happening? Did I full moon this month showing you something? And then there could be a moment of, that can't be right. It can't be right. Moon, go back and show me that again, because this can't be right. But it's right. Once it's seen, it can't be unseen. But I feel for you, there's that real moment of, I didn't know, I didn't realize, and I've now got the confidence to trust how I feel about this, and to trust that I can fix this and have confidence to move through this and move past it and move on from this. I will move on from this, I absolutely will. And I'm not going to doubt myself anymore. And I tell you what I'm not going to do with all the energy kind of bumping up against Jupiter this month too. I'm not going to put up with anybody who tries to stop my growth, who tries to stop me expanding, who tries to stop me from being my full, brilliant self in everything that I'm doing. You could be locking horns with a few people this month who are trying to get you to change your opinion on something. They want you to believe something that you just can't believe anymore. That's really strong. There could be people coming in where you get this first insight this month into something and you say, I've seen something here. This is true. It's strange, but it's true. And other people say, no, you're seeing it all wrong. You're seeing it. Maybe it's like that. Oh, don't think of it like that. Don't judge them so harshly. Don't do this. Don't be so mean. And you're saying, wait, back the hell off. Don't tell me what I need to think. Don't tell me how I need to compartmentalize this or fix this in my mind. I'm Aries. When I see the truth, I know it when I see it. And don't try to get me to kind of be all optimistic about something that I have to tackle. Or don't try to get me to kind of say, oh, it'll be fine. No, it won't be fine. Not until I fix this, it won't be fine. And I will fix it. And I feel for some of you too this month, there could be a real shocking moment where all your thoughts, ideas and opinions on a person or a situation radically change. Just like that, radically change. And you have that real moment this month of having to sit with that and say, well, what do I do with that now? I can't support this anymore. I can't create any type of narrative in my mind that excuses this. I can't make sense of it at the moment. Okay, so there are things that might come to this month, Aries, that initially when they arrive, you'll say, I can't make sense of this. I see it, it's the truth, but it means that I have to readjust and re-see everything from a total new angle. And maybe that's what you need to do, but you need time with that. So this is a month where you have to go a bit slower, Aries. Calm down, listen to your instincts, listen to your intuition. If you need a bit of private time and a private moment to yourself, away from people who are trying to tell you how you should perceive X, Y, or Z, and just say, wait a minute. Give myself this time on my own to ask myself how I feel about this. And then that will be the truth. That's all I need to know. That's all. Once I sit quietly and have a good long conversation with myself, that will be my truth. Okay, so that's very strong. Something is going, yeah, look, the High Priestess. There is a big psychological shift for you this month, Aries. And I strongly feel this thing of, I don't care. I don't need a reason. I don't need an excuse. I don't need them to apologize or say sorry. I don't need them to try to make amends. I don't need, it's almost like they should have been doing this all along. They should have been behaving well all along. And now, because I've seen something and confront them, and they say, oh, but it'll be better, it'll be better, it'll be better. There's a real moment of disgust, I have to say here, Aries, where you say, but you shouldn't have waited for me to ask you to do it that way. I shouldn't have to ask you to treat me with respect or to treat me with love. I give you everything. I give you 100% of my effort, my time, my energy, my devotion, my friendship, my care. I give you 100 every time. I don't think it's right to have to ask for something similar in return. There's an imbalance here. And okay, this month, I will give you the opportunity with me to clean this, fix this, organize it, have it out, talk it out, heal it. But if I see for one moment that you cross that line again, I promise you it will be the last time you'll cross it. And that's very strong, Aries. Now, for some of you, it could mark a wonderful moment where you have that real clean-up time in relationships, all kind of relationships, and you and the other person or people start with a whole new chapter and a whole new fresh start, and it works out brilliantly for both of you, really, because we've a lot of energy going in from, say, 14th of September into the 7th house, Mercury, Venus, the Sun, and the new moon then on September 28th, all in Libra in the 7th house, of recommitting to something again or someone again, but in a more loving way, in a more agreeable way, in a cleaner, healthier way. So, you know, having this moment in the first 2 weeks of this month, as difficult as they might be, could be the very thing that salvages a relationship, saves it, makes it work again. But for some of you, it could be a real moment where you say, this is time to say goodbye, I'm afraid, and I am ready to jump ship and start with somebody who gives me more respect, with somebody who sees the truth in my soul, because I'm giving myself the value that you never gave me. Yeah. 3 more cards, Aries. So that's very, very, very strong. Now, just to change it up a little bit, I will say this. If there's something that you're doing this month where it requires a lot of discipline, maybe with your health, fitness, maybe, excuse me, with something that you're organizing or the work that you're doing, it requires a lot of dedication, a lot of focus, a lot of time, a lot of organization. and you've got to be here on time. You're working to a deadline maybe, perhaps. Aries, I see if you really give it everything, then you're going to do really well. Maybe, will you do well this month? I don't know if it's this month, maybe next month, but I see that a lot of hard work, a lot of standing up and really giving it 100% is going to pay off for you. It really is. I like that. I like it a lot. Now, Aries, let's get these 3 last cards. You know, Aries, what I'm also feeling for you here, because sometimes this happens, it doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes I feel very strong spirit energy, and I feel for you this month there is a very, very strong spirit vibe with you, and it's almost like the energies are, they want you to be fixed. They want you to be happy. They want you to be healthy. They want you to be in good relationships. They want you to let something go. Even for some of you, you could be angry at somebody who's already crossed into the spirit world. But there's a feeling here of it's okay to let it go. It's okay that you don't have the answer you've wanted all along. It's okay. We just need you to let it be okay to move on. It's okay for you to get out of sadness, or it's okay for you to get out of pain, or it's okay for you to get out of something that you just don't want to do anymore. It's okay for you to get out of something that is holding you back in order for you to progress. So I feel for some of you, if you are waiting on some sort of permission, that's what I feel, Aries, like permission to move on, then I feel Spirit is coming this month strongly and will somehow present itself to you to give you that gentle permission to move on and be happy and embrace the happier things in your life and to heal. So there's a lot there, Aries. I can't, because that's quite a personal thing. It could involve anything, family, friends, hurts that you've been holding on to maybe for a while, stresses maybe to do at work or with having to keep the fort together, having to hold it all together. There's a real moment here of you don't have to do that. Just relax, release, let it go. You've the full permission. If it's really not making you happy anymore, then you don't have to feel guilty about letting it go. Now, I'm saying this to you, Aries, but I think you'll feel this, particularly mid-month, strongly around September 14th. You'll feel it. You'll feel, you might even get some signs or symbols or dreams or anything like that. However you usually tune into your psychic senses, something might happen where you'll say, that was it. That was all I needed to see, all I needed to hear, all I needed to feel, all I needed to know. Something might be shown to you, coincidentally shown to you, and you'll say, that's Spirit. That's the thing that is the sign for me that it's okay to do something. So, yeah. It's okay for you to do something. So that's very strong, Aries. I'm going to get 2 cards here. Okay, very strong spirit energy this month, yeah. These 2 came out. This one came out first. Yeah. And then this one. Okay. So Aries, let's go over to your big, grand, ta-da, overview. So the moon, the midnight moon striking 12, the 12th house, is really giving you that moment to say, it's finished, it's done. And we're going to show you why you can let something go so that you can start again. This is the Ace of Fire, magic, beginning, starting over. You're being shown this month that you can start over. For some of you, you could hear news of a child, maybe that's your new start, the start of a new something, a new business, a new relationship. Some of you could enter a new relationship this month and you might feel that it was divinely sent to you. Something happens, I feel, Aries, and you know, that's all I feel. It's like you know that that was spirit. You know that as awkward or as difficult or as hard as the situation might have been, that there's a release that comes from that. And the release is designed to set you free so that you can start over and get your magic going again, your plans, your happiness, being able to strike it up again, bring your beautiful personality out again. If there was toxicity, here comes the match to strike it up and set it on fire and say, be gone, purify this shit. I don't have to hide under a secret anymore, maybe for some of you. It's almost like, excuse me, what you've been burying inside is now coming out to be purified and healed. And you get to start again. So Aries, this is very strong. This is very, very strong. There is a new beginning here for you. And I wish you every success with that, my love, because I know you deserve it. I know you do. A new revelation, a new you almost starting again. And I'm, no, don't make me cry. I feel that I just feel that it's a blessing. It's something gets revealed, and as I said, it feels like it's I don't want this to be revealed. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. I don't want this to happen. I don't want this. But then there it is, open, revealed, seen. And because it's seen, you get to start over. It's almost like a moment of pain brings a great big healing for you. I love that. I love that, to start over. And in some cases I feel like, like a whole new personality, like a whole new way of seeing things, a whole new way of feeling things out, a whole new connection to the relationships that you have with all people in your life. It's like like we said earlier, I'm not going to put up with certain things, and I have more confidence now to be me and not to feel one damn bit guilty about that. So there's something very big happening for you, Aries. That's all I know. But I do know that this very big thing is coming from spirit, and it's very positive. You see, the card of communicating very, very quickly turns the wheel of fortune. For me, the whole top row is a spiritual row. For me, I believe the communication firstly is coming from spirit. You'll know it through music, through something that you recognize. You'll know it. You'll know it's a message from spirit, and it comes to you and it changes everything. It's almost like a release. It's like you don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to bear that anymore. You don't have to hold on to that anymore. It's not your burden anymore. Now Saturn is going direct this month in Capricorn, September 18th. And maybe you have felt that heavier burdens have been getting heavier and heavier. But maybe turning direct this month, Saturn is probably part of this show where he says, it's not going to be as heavy anymore for you, my love. Because you're getting back some greater level of control over yourself, over how you respect yourself. As I said earlier, take back the respect that you had hoped other people would have given you, but they didn't. It's like you don't have to depend on them anymore for how you feel about yourself. It's about you now. You're the last word. If you feel good in yourself, then that's all that matters. It's not down to anybody else how you feel about yourself. You don't have to wait anymore on somebody to tell you how to feel about yourself. So that's a very strong message. That's the burden I feel, one of the big strong burdens that's been lifted from you this month. But in real terms, there could actually be a burden lifted from you. Something new happens, a new way of handling something. You've organized something in a totally different way so that a burden is lifted off you. Work, relationships, some responsibilities that you had. It's like now that it's organized, the burden is off me. And I've organized it and I've told everybody this is how it's going to play out now, and you've this part to play and you're going to do this and you're going to do that. And that level of confidence of organizing something, Aries, also helps turn this wheel around positively for you. Positively. It's really nice. You know what I feel, Aries? I feel this is a great moment for you. There's a big energetic purge happening for you. At some moment this month, there could be a moment where you need to close the door and spend a bit of time on your own. And for one big moment, cry about something, journal about something, get angry about something, vent something on your own maybe. And just release. I feel a build-up of energy that at some point this month just gets vented and bursts out. And afterwards, I feel a change in you, a real change. Now, mid-month, here comes the moon, of course, the high priestess. This is usually the new moon, but she is the bearer of the moon. The moon in Pisces, and this is a Pisces card, and news. I feel mid-month there's definitely news. Somebody will just say something that just changes everything for you. Now, on a very positive note, it could be somebody coming in out of nowhere and surprising you. Maybe even for some of you surprising you with a commitment, a relationship, an engagement, wanting to marry you, because we have a lot of energy in the second half of the month moving into the 7th house of agreements, connections, relationships, unions, bonds, agreements. And maybe for some of you that is what's happening. Because you've tidied something up, because you're not labouring under some heaviness anymore, you can now start a new work contract, start a new relationship, get serious about something in your life. Because for me, first, something has to come. Something has to come like the big sword of truth and chop, 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 so that you get to see what you're dealing with. It's almost like now that you see it, you know what you're dealing with, and then you can move on in a very deep and meaningful way, in a healing way. Truth coming under this full moon in Pisces. Somebody, you or somebody else, could be getting into conversations that are quite deep and emotional, quite deep, quite purging kind of conversations between you and friends, family members, your partner, the in-laws. Even for some of you, I see energy where some of you are either in-laws coming to see you or you going travelling to see them. But somewhere along the line mid-month, there's the energy of deep, deep, deep conversations and real spiritual moments for you, Aries. I have to say that. And I'll say this too, for some of you, whatever turns up, it's almost like I have to start again. I have to stand up in a whole new meaningful way in my life. I'm only going to serve what's meaningful in my life, relationships, work. It's like I want to change something, and it's got to mean something for me. On a literal level, some of you finding the coin to get married, some of you finding the coin to move home. That could be happening for some of you. But for me, again, another ace, starting over. This is the ace of spirit, the ace of things that are matter of fact. This is the reality. This is the truth. And spirit always deals with the truth. Once I see the truth, then I can change my environment. I can change everything. So that's very strong, Aries. Now, coming towards the end of the month, I do see that some of you, you're starting something new, I feel, and you are getting to see maybe the first coin come in. So it's all positive, it's all good. Some of you trying to put money aside, save to pay off a debt, a household debt, a loan, something like that. You could see a dent happening in that if you get some financial plan going here. Some of you may even get lucky or weird money coming your way, like a little bit of a flutter brings you a windfall. I see that for some of you. But I see some of you wanting to make something more solid. And in order to make something more solid, you need a plan. I see for a lot of you, it could be even a house move or a changing up of the home dynamic. But first there needs to be a plan. We need to save. I need to save. If I want something to happen, I need a plan. Save, borrow, long range shit, you know? But here I see you getting a little bit frustrated before we leave the month, Aries, that you want to, for some of you, did I mention this already? Some of you might feel that you have to travel somewhere this month, but you don't want to. It's like, I've booked a vacation, I will go on it, but I don't want to be there. Or I have to travel to go to see family or the in-laws, but I don't want to go, I don't want to be there. I'd rather be at home quiet, minding my own business, doing my own thing. This is not energy that I want to expend right now. I don't want to be throwing money around. I don't want to be throwing my energy around. I have more important things to be focused on. And one of the big important things that you're focusing on, Aries, is concluding something. You see, sometimes these cards have lots of meanings. Sometimes this card means the conclusion of something, where you're finally able to celebrate something coming to an end. And that's what I feel for you this month. The end of the month, you, maybe with your partner, maybe with friends, with somebody, maybe with Libra, it's their birthday, or Virgo, there is a celebration. Something is coming to an end. Something feels right. There could be a celebration for some of you. Maybe a loan or debt is coming to an end, or worry about money is coming to an end. But for me, Aries, I have to really go down this route. For me, it's the fear or the worry of something. Something is definitely ending for you. And there's a celebration at the end of the month because of it. But it's almost like you have to be coaxed out to celebrate. You don't want to go out to celebrate it, but your friends or your family or someone is saying, this is great news. That's over for you. You don't have to do that anymore. Come out. Let's go out. Let's have dinner. Let's have drinks. Let's do something. Come out. Do it. Come on. And you do. You do. And it's worth it. Because it's almost like you need some sort of moment to celebrate the end of something, Aries. Mark the end of something. For some of you, it might be your divorce papers, the closing of one situation and the starting of a new one. There's something. Celebrate it. Don't let this wonderful ending go and just drift off. Celebrate it one way or another. Strongly feel that. And at the end of the month, Aries, your mind is again more on focusing on who you give your time and energy to, not letting anybody cross those lines, but also to do with money. I feel for some of you, it's this thing of, I'm not going to be taken advantage of financially anymore. I'm not going to be the one who hands money out here and there anymore. There's rules. I feel strong rules being doubly reinforced here by the end of the month for you, Aries. Some of you, again, strongly considering about borrowing money to pay for something that's to your benefit. Maybe needing a little bit of extra cash so that you can have a party maybe to celebrate something that has come to an end. But for me, Aries, I really just feel that there's a lot of positive stuff happening here. But what you're dealing with this month is, you know, that let it go, let it go. It's scary, but let it go. It might make me worried or nervous, but let it go. I may not know where I'm going after this, but let it go. I'm going to jump right into the unknown, and I'm going to do it just with the trust that the Spirit knows what it's doing. Because I've been given signs by Spirit that it's around me, that it's there for me. So I'm going to jump into the unknown, and I'm going to feel more confident as I do that. And I'm not going to rush this. I'm going to get more practical because of this. It's the strangest thing. To take a leap into the unknown is probably a very practical thing for you to do this month, Aries. Practical and very healing. So, my love, I love that, and I love that Spirit is very strong with you this month. And I love that Spirit is coming to give you some sort of message at some point throughout this month to almost give you the permission, maybe for some of you, that you needed to not feel bad about moving on. Because Spirit always wants you to be happy. That's all it does. It wants you to be happy. And it wants you to keep progressing and evolving and developing and expanding. And I'm going to leave it at that, my beautiful. Now you do know that these are the general energies. You know for the details of everything. You know where to come by now, Aries. You know to come to the VIMEO readings. They're all linked down there below in the description box. Click in the link. Come on in and we'll open up the things that you want to hear about, like love. For those of you in a relationship, for the singles, what's going on this month for you? Is there love with all the energy going into the 7th house of partnerships this month? Money and career, what's going on there? Family, friends, and anything else that we didn't touch upon here this reading, Aries. Come to the Vimeo readings and we'll open it all right out. Link down there below, as you know. So, my love, I'm going to leave it at that, and I really do hope you enjoy this very spiritual moment this month. And take from it what you can, because after what's ending is the promise of a new beginning. And my love, I will leave it at that. And as always, I will leave you with all my love and a great big kiss from me to you. Mwah. Until next month, my beauty. Bye.